The story begins with Wu Yian playing a school football game. As he runs with the ball, dodging opponents, he reflects on the idea of impossibility. He thinks about how turning impossible things into possible ones is difficult and often leaves scars. However, he believes scars aren't always bad, they can also show strength. For Wu Yian, love is the one thing powerful enough to help him face his challenges. After scoring a touchdown, he reunites with his girlfriend, one of the cheerleaders, and leans in to kiss her. But this moment is just Wu Yian's imagination. He snaps back to reality and finds himself working as a physical education teacher at a high school. He tells his students to hurry up and start another game of badminton. After the game, Wu Yian returns to his desk in the teacher's office and finds a card from someone named Wang Songhe. As he reads the name, he remembers how he didn't know anyone with the surname Wang until he met her. The story then goes back to when Wu Yian first met Wang Songhe. It's June 2005. Wu Yian is in trouble for getting into a fight earlier that day. As punishment, his teacher makes him stay in the office. While Wu Yian is serving his punishment, a new student enters the room with a teacher. Her name is Wang Songhe, and she is a senior who transferred from Jeonju. The moment Songhe walks in, she catches Wu Yian's attention. He is so distracted by her presence that he forgets about his punishment. After her discussion with the teacher ends, Wu Yian approaches her and introduces himself. However, Songhe notices the tear in Wu Yian's pants, caused by the beating he got from his teacher earlier. Wu Yian becomes embarrassed and quickly backs away. News about Songhe spreads quickly throughout the school, and she becomes the most popular girl. All the boys, including the school bully Taek-ki, start showing interest in her. However, Songhe dislikes the attention and wants to get away from it all. One day after school, she asks Wu Yian to go with her for a quickie. Wu Yian misunderstands, thinking she means something inappropriate, but Songhe is actually talking about a quick trip to get tteokbokki. The two sneak out of school and head to a small street food stall to enjoy some rice cakes. Later that evening, on their way home, Wu Yian stops by a convenience store to buy something. As they continue walking, he brings up the term, quickie, and is shocked to learn that Songhe had her first quickie in 8th grade. Wu Yian assumes she must be dirty, but Songhe is talking about snacks, not anything inappropriate. Songhe notices the item Wu Yian bought at the store and grows suspicious. She guesses it might be cigarettes, but it turns out to be condoms. Furious and embarrassed, she slaps Wu Yian and laughs at his misunderstanding. The next day at school, Songhe teases Wu Yian about the slang term as they walk to her classroom. When she arrives, she finds Taek-ki sitting at her desk, preparing a surprise for her. Wanting to avoid him, Songhe decides to skip class and leaves the building. On her way to the school wall, where she previously escaped with Wu Yian, she sees him fighting with another student. Ignoring him, she tries to climb over the wall to escape, but she is too short to reach the top. As she struggles, Wu Yian notices her and comes to her rescue just in time. Together, they manage to escape once again. The two go out for another trip to eat rice cakes, but this time they are joined by Taek-ki and his group. Wu Yian makes a deal with Songhe. He will stop fighting if she agrees to pretend he is her boyfriend. Wu Yian explains that he has been fighting to get revenge for the bullying he suffered in the past. If Songhe tells everyone they are dating, he'll give up fighting. Songhe agrees quickly when Taek-ki approaches, using her fake relationship with Wu Yian to drive him away. Later that night, Wu Yian tells his best friend, Jun Nam, about the deal. He says he's giving up his revenge plans for love. Wu Yian then notices a bruise on Jun Nam's face. Jun Nam explains that his dad hit him while they were watching a drama. Jun Nam misheard a line and thought it was a dirty joke, but when he repeated it, his dad got angry and beat him. The next day at school, Wu Yian sits with Songhe during lunch. Taek-ki gets annoyed and throws a milk carton at Wu Yian from across the room. Wu Yian doesn't react and even drinks from the carton, making everyone laugh. Later that day, Wu Yian and Songhe go out again. When they reach the tteokbokki shop, it's closed, so they wait outside for the rain to stop. While waiting, Songhe shares that she wants to be an artist or painter but worries she won't make much money. She also encourages Wu Yian to study so he doesn't waste his life. Suddenly, Their teacher shows up and starts chasing them. Wu Yian and Sung Hee run away and manage to hide before they're caught. That night, Sung Hee and Wu Yian wash clothes at his house. While waiting, she finds his Playboy magazines and jokes about watching something erotic. Embarrassed, Wu Yian grabs the magazines, but Sung Hee starts teasing him about masturbation, asking when he started. Flustered, Wu Yian misunderstands her question, making Sung Hee laugh. After walking Sung Hee home, Wu Yian returns to find Jun Nam hiding in his bed. Jun Nam reveals he was caught masturbating by his dad and is too embarrassed to stay at home, fearing his dad's reaction. The next day at school, Taek Ki challenges Wu Yian to a fight to prove he's still the toughest. Remembering his promise to Sung Hee, Wu Yian doesn't fight back and takes Taek Ki's punches, even though it hurts. Sung Hee watches the fight but doesn't intervene. Later that night, when they go out for snacks, she expresses pride in Wu Yian for keeping his promise. Wu Yian hopes for a kiss as a reward, but instead, Sung Hee gives him a strange look. As they walk home, Sung Hee suddenly panics when she sees a mini truck in the neighborhood. She turns away quickly to avoid being seen, and her mood changes drastically. The next day at school, she acts unusually distant. To cheer her up, Wu Yian sneaks into the media room and performs her favorite song. While teachers rush to stop him, the students lock the doors to give Wu Yian time. The performance works, and Sung Hee starts to feel better. Wu Yian and Sung Hee spend a day at the beach, where Wu Yian gives her an MP3 player that can hold up to 60 songs. Sung Hee surprises him with a gift too. She draws a couple kissing on his palms and then kisses him, marking their first kiss. Wu Yian is overjoyed, but the next day, Sung Hee doesn't show up at school, and she never comes back. One night, while walking in the neighborhood, he sees a crowd in front of a salon. Curious, he approaches and sees Sung Hee cleaning broken glass while her drunken father lies nearby. When their eyes meet, Sung Hee yells at Wu Yian to leave, and he reluctantly obeys. A few days later, Sung Hee calls Wu Yian to say goodbye. She reveals that she and her mother had been running from her abusive father, but he found them again. They're leaving town to escape once more. Sung Hee wishes Wu Yian well before boarding a bus with her mother, leaving the town behind. In the present, Wu Yian comforts a student crying in the bathroom after being rejected by a girl. He shares a story from his own past. When he worked at a fried chicken restaurant, he fell for a customer who rejected him because he hadn't made it into college. Wu Yian advises the student to avoid regret and work toward his goals. After graduating high school, Jun Nam gets into a college in Seoul. Wu Yian, initially uninterested in college, changes his mind when he finds a picture of Sung Hee hidden in a university ad. Determined to attend the same university as her, he repeats a year of high school. His parents are shocked but supportive, as is Jun Nam. With their encouragement, Wu Yian works hard and gets accepted into Hankook University. At university, Wu Yian searches for Sung Hee, visiting rice cake shops in hopes of finding her. Though unsuccessful at first, he eventually spots her putting up flyers for her tutoring services. They catch up, and Sung Hee shares that she's majoring in fashion design and dreams of starting her own brand. Wu Yian moves into the same boarding house where Sung Hee also lives. During a gathering with housemates, Wu Yian invites Sung Hee to join, but she declines, revealing that she has a boyfriend. She tells Wu Yian to avoid any awkward misunderstandings. Though Wu Yian pretends to be okay, he's secretly upset. Jun Nam encourages him, saying he only needs to compete with Sung Hee's boyfriend. Determined, Wu Yian decides to win her back by getting to know her boyfriend, Yoon Jun, the captain of the school football team. Wu Yian and Jun Nam join the football team, training under Yoon Jun. During a break, Sung Hee brings Yoon Jun a drink, and their interaction makes Wu Yian jealous. Frustrated, Wu Yian walks away with Jun Nam. Sung Hee is already taken, so her friend So Young shows interest in Wu Yian, but he remains focused on Sung Hee. One day, while walking together, they come across an elderly couple struggling to load heavy boxes into their car. Sung Hee and Wu Yian offer to help. Later that night, Wu Yian and his friends download some porn on his computer, but they're interrupted by the police. The police arrive, and Wu Yian and Sung Hee are taken to the station for questioning. As they debate whether to be honest with the authorities, the police are actually investigating a different case involving the elderly couple they helped earlier. The police and students continue to misunderstand each other. Wu Yian thinks they are still talking about the porn, while the police actually want the elderly man's contact information. Sung-hee is confused, as her grandpa passed away when she was a child. Eventually, Wu Yian and Sung-hee are put in separate jail cells until the situation clears up. They laugh at the absurdity of the situation and catch up with each other. Wu Yian is curious about why Sung-hee fell in love with Yoon Jun. Sung-hee explains it took her just 3 seconds during their first meeting. Wu Yian's jealousy grows when he overhears Sung-hee and Yoon Jun talking in her room later that night. He complains to the boarding house owner about the noise, thinking it's them, but the owner assumes he's referring to her own relationship. The man she's with comes out to apologize to Wu Yian, causing a scene. Wu Yian explains the misunderstanding, but the owner still scolds him. Meanwhile, Sung-hee and Yoon Jun watch the chaos from their doorway. While Jun Nam and Soo Pyo are busy talking to girls, Wu Yian plans to celebrate Sung-hee's birthday. He buys a bouquet of flowers, but Sung-hee spends the day with her boyfriend. At the boarding house, Wu Yian sees Yoon Jun giving Sung-hee a necklace, which makes him angry. Sung-hee notices Wu Yian watching, but doesn't say anything. In a fit of rage, Wu Yian throws the flowers into Yoon Jun's car and runs off. A few months later, in September 2007, Wu Yian has been acting distant since Sung-hee's birthday. While lying on a bench at school, Sung-hee approaches him, fixes his worn-out shirt, and asks him to stop ignoring her. Later, Wu Yian overhears Yoon Jun talking with another girl in the library. Yoon Jun reveals plans to travel to Europe and invites the girl to join him. At the football championship game, Wu Yian tells Sung-hee that Yoon Jun's promise of a Europe trip is just an excuse to go with another girl, not her. Sung-hee doesn't believe him. The school wins the game thanks to Wu Yian's brilliant 3-second play that results in a touchdown, but Wu Yian immediately punches Yoon Jun in the face after scoring. Later, Wu Yian is dismissed from the university. As he walks out of the school, he passes by Sung-hee, and they walk past each other without saying a word. Fast forward to 2012, 5 years later. Wu Yian and Jun Nam still stay in touch with their old neighbors from the boarding house. Wu Yian is now in a relationship with Min Kyung and works as a personal trainer at the gym. While handing out flyers on the street, he unexpectedly runs into Sung-hee again. He follows her into a studio, where he watches her pose for a photo shoot. The two catch up, sharing updates on their lives. Sung-hee is doing part-time modeling gigs to make extra money, while Wu Yian is in a relationship, though Sung-hee is single by choice, focusing on her work instead. She mentions she has upcoming CF shoots but needs someone to drive her. Wu Yian offers to take her to the location so she can attend her shoots. After a long and exhausting day of shoots, Wu Yian drops Sung-hee off at her home. As she gets ready to head inside, Wu Yian hands her a flyer for a designer contest and encourages her to sign up. While Sung-hee's modeling and commercial work are fulfilling, she had always dreamed of being an artist. The flyer sparks something within her, and that night, she revisits all her old drawings, reflecting on the dreams she once had. 2 days later, Wu Yian drives Sung-hee to another CF shoot. As they drive, Wu Yian receives a text from Min Kyung, but he chooses to ignore it since he's focused on the road. Sung-hee notices the lack of response and asks him why he didn't contact her during his military service. The movie rewinds to 2007, 5 years earlier. Wu Yian has 1 day left before his military leave ends. He spends his last night with Sung-hee. They eat, drink, and enjoy their time together. The next morning, Wu Yian wakes up naked on the floor. When he asks the owner of the place about Sung-hee, he learns that she has already left. The owner explains that Sung-hee took care of Wu Yian while he was drunk and then caught the first bus in the morning. This is why Wu Yian did not contact Sung-hee during his military service. In the present, Sung-hee receives a call from the CF shoot director informing her that her role has been cut, so she is no longer needed. Wu Yian stops the car to let her process the news. To cheer her up, he takes her to a luxurious location, but it is locked. Like before, Sung-hee climbs over the gate by stepping on Wu Yian. Sung-hee admits that she thought about Wu Yian often back then. After teasing him and reminiscing, Wu Yian chases her and grabs her. They freeze, staring into each other's eyes. Wu Yian leans in to kiss her, but Sung Hee avoids it. In the past, it was Yoon Jun, and now it is Min Kyung. Timing is crucial in love, and the timing is not right for Wu Yian and Sung Hee. Wu Yian wants to start over with Sung Hee, but she refuses. She doesn't want to go back to the love they shared in high school. She has moved on and is now a different person. Wu Yian holds on until the end, ending his relationship with Min Kyung, but Sung Hee remains uninterested. During a CF shoot, Sung Hee and Wu Yian argue about their past until a dangerous situation occurs. Wu Yian faints after protecting Sung Hee from a door that construction workers accidentally dropped from the rooftop. Wu Yian is hospitalized, and Sung Hee stays by his side. Wu Yian is just relieved that Sung Hee is unharmed, even if it means he is hurt. Sung Hee surprises him with a kiss. Wu Yian enjoys it, and the two begin to rekindle their relationship, picking up right where they left off in high school. Now older, with different responsibilities and commitments, Wu Yian and Sung Hee remain the same at heart and stay together through the changing seasons. However, due to his injuries, Wu Yian is unable to secure a job as a physical education teacher. Sung Hee feels guilty about his situation, but Wu Yian doesn't blame her. He hugs her tightly as she cries in his arms. Later, Sung Hee and Wu Yian go on another trip. During the trip, Sung Hee shares that her company is sending her to Belgium for work, and she will likely be there for 2 to 3 years. To her surprise, Wu Yian doesn't react emotionally to the news. Instead, he gives her his permission to go without trying to hold her back. Sung Hee's father passes away, and she holds a funeral for him. After paying his respects, Wu Yian stays by her side to comfort her. However, Wu Yian starts feeling doubtful. He wonders if he should have never met Sung Hee, blaming her for his failed dream of becoming a teacher and his current struggles. Sung Hee overhears Wu Yian's harsh words outside the funeral house and decides to break up with him. She realizes he blames her for ruining his life, just like her dad blamed her mom. Heartbroken, she goes back inside and cries uncontrollably. Wu Yian apologizes and tries to make up with Sung Hee, but she refuses to forgive him. She confirms her plans to move to Belgium to start fresh. The missing couple ring on her finger shows that she wants to end their relationship. A few years later, Wu Yian becomes a physical education teacher, just like he always wanted. Instead of teaching physical education, he entertains his students by sharing the story of his first love with Sung Hee. One day, Sung Hee visits Wu Yian at his school to give him her wedding invitation, explaining that she is getting married soon. This was the same invitation Wu Yian received at the start of the movie. Hearing the news, Wu Yian gets upset, as he always does, and drinks to cope. To clear his mind, he suggests going somewhere quiet with his friends. They take a boat to fish in the middle of a lake. While on the boat, Wu Yian finds a drawing Sung Hee had made for him long ago. Looking at it, he gets emotional and decides to attend her wedding. On the day of Sung Hee's wedding, Wu Yian and his friends come up with a plan. While his friends distract people and keep them from entering Sung Hee's room, Wu Yian takes the opportunity to visit her. He finally shares his true feelings and admits that he had been wrong all along. Wu Yian realizes that meeting Sung Hee was a blessing. Because of her, he now has a good job and 3 close friends he met in college. His life has improved because of her presence. Sung Hee feels the same about Wu Yian. He was always there for her during her tough times. They shake hands to settle their relationship and agree to stay good friends moving forward. The wedding begins, and Sung Hee walks down the aisle alone. Wu Yian watches her, amazed, and their eyes meet for a moment as she approaches the groom. After a few seconds, Wu Yian quietly leaves the wedding reception. On the day of his first love's wedding, Wu Yian accepts that they were never meant to be together. However, he feels thankful to Sung Hee for helping him find meaning in his life. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.